And I knew I was wrong because I told Mouthpiece first. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, then I told Havoc, my cousin. I did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, it turns into what it is today.
Do you agree with what he said, if my recollection is correct? He said that the issues with him and Rhyme Son stem. Standing trial. Why ain't I see you around back when I was down? What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and we back one more again. And of course, I got my oldest daughter, my beautiful oldest daughter. Y'all know who this is, Rachel Renee. What's going on?
What's going on? We got the fact check in the building.
It's the fact check. It's the fact check episode.
Check some facts.
Hey, so listen, man. I want to kind of preface this, right?
Yes.
So. You guys have been following Holdin Court Podcast. Of course, you know I love having the legends on, the ones I grew up on, the ones I respect tremendously. And so a couple years ago, shout out to my partners from South Central Cartel. They were, gracious enough to come to the podcast and tell me their story. At the time, I had South Central Cartel. I had Big Pride, Cali Pitts, aka Young Pride, and LV. And missing in that first interview was Havoc the Rhyme Son and Havoc the Mouthpiece. So now fast forward, if you guys ain't seen that episode, go watch it now. So fast forward a couple years, Havoc the Mouthpiece, he reaches out to me. He comes on the show. It was recently released, and he tells his piece. So now today, without further ado, we have the homie, Big Pride, Prodeje of South Central Cartel, and also off camera, you guys can't see him, but he's here. But on the audio, you will hear him. We have Cali Pitts, as I said, BKA Young Pride. He's sitting over here. What's cracking with y'all?
That's West, y'all.
Yeah. And of course, right here, we got the legendary Big Pride. What's going on with you, OG?
Man, chilling, man.
Yeah. So you back one more again. You spit the block.
Yes, sir. I had to. After I watched that explosive Havoc the
Mouthpiece.
He said a few things. He said some true stuff. He said some, his opinion of stuff. So, of course I have some little differences with certain little things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So before we get into it, I kind of want to just a little bit touch on, just for some of the younger generation that may be tapping in. Of course, as I said, you are, I'm going to say, the founder of South Central Cartel, a seminal group from South Central Los Angeles. One of my favorite groups, on the West Coast. You guys started with South Central Madness, but I know you had some records before that, but we just going to go to the national records.
The real ones.
Yeah. You know what I mean? With, County Blues, I get my roll on. What was it? Gangsta Love?
Gangsta Love.
Gangsta Love.
Clown.
Yeah, You Gets Clown. And then, of course, my favorite, In Gats We Trust.
Oh, yeah.
In Gats We Trust, which, it was funny because I used to, it was funny. You niggas had blue rags, khaki suits, right? And then I remember Havoc coming on there. Yeah, when people see us, the first thing they say is, "What gang y'all from?" I'm like, but you are from a gang. You know what I mean? It reminded me of what's like Black Dynamite. But I sell drugs in the community. You know what I mean? But classic group. You know what I'm saying? So I want to start from the beginning a little bit. From South Central, how did the group form?
The group formed, man. Like he told the story about how I met him at my sister's house, etc.
Okay.
When I met Havoc, man, I kind of was like getting to a point in my life where I was kind of ready to. I always was rapping. Nobody knew it. So I'll be in the trap house rapping, but nobody knew it. I'm writing. You know what I mean? But I'm so caught up in this other stuff that was on the side, that was on the back burner. So by the time I met Havoc, I had started getting serious about the rap, I had a situation in the streets, and I was like, man, this, I got to do something different.
Yeah.
So I had started rapping. I had started dealing with Chaos, DJ Chaos. He had a little studio at his house. So I was going to Chaos. I was trying to hone my craft. So I had a briefcase full of raps. And I was at my sister's just coming from Chaos. And so I had the thing with me when I met Havoc. So that I'm already in it. Chaos taking me around. Chaos was one of the pop lockers from LA. He was in a pop locking crew called the Majestics. So, I knew Chaos because as a young one, as a little youngin', I would stand outside and where I lived, and Chaos was one of the ones. Yeah. One of them ones in the streets. Yeah. Like a lot of people don't know, the SCC is different places. Okay. Chaos was one of them ones.
So when you say different places, you mean
in South Central.
Yeah, so people from different hoods. Yeah. Different sets, different hoods. Okay.
Yeah, see, I claim East Side South Central. Okay. But I lived a lot of my life on the West Side. Like up to a certain age, I was on the West Side. Okay. In different hoods. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was more of a hustler. Yeah. Then because I was everywhere. Yeah. So I didn't want to be in the city. But when I moved to the East Side, that's who had my back. That's who. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's who. If somebody fuck with me. Yeah. You feel me?
So real quick, because even just to clarify that part, right, and even coming from a fan perspective of the music, a roll call of South Central Cartel, if you can say, and if you don't mind saying. No, I can. Who was from where, even if affiliated? Because I know you were long affiliated with A7. Yeah. Okay. So
that's when I went to the East Side.
Yeah. So let's do a roll call of who was from where.
What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and I am the co-founder of the OG Network. And if you're enjoying this episode and you want to watch the full episode, then what I need you to do is go download the OG Network. Available on Roku, Google Play, Fire TV, and Apple Mobile. And again, if you liking this and you want to watch the full episode, because we only giving you a little bit over here, go watch the full episode on OG Network. Go download the app now. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Salute.
So Chaos was from Hoover. Okay. 9 Deuce. Okay. OG, triple OG. Okay. DJ Grip, I don't know for sure. I know Grip did a lot with the Hoovers. Okay. 9-Folds, A-Trays. I knew Grip from being a DJ, doing a lot of the Freeway Boys parties. Okay. He was over there with them. Yeah. Then it used to be original member named Lover G.
I remember hearing that name.
I don't think Lover G banged, but he grew up in the Pueblos. Okay. Bloods over there. Yep. Then you got Havoc the Rhyme son. He wasn't gang banging, but he grew up in 9-0 hood. Okay. And we had cousins from 9-0, so he kind of got tangled up with that situation. So he hollering 9-0. Okay. So, that's what he representing. Right. So that's Chaos, that's Grip, LV, A7 Gangster. Right. My brother was from A7. Okay. And I did my hustling and all of that. So, you know what I mean? I ain't never gonna not rep where my brother rep. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm not, like I said, I was a hustler.
Okay. And what you said in the song.
Yeah. I like to say more so. You know what I'm saying? But, them my guys. You feel me? Okay. But I also grew up in Hoover Hood.
Okay.
For a lot of my years. I went to school.
Which Hoover?
We lived in like 9-4 Hoover Hood, which A7s and 9-4s is enemy. It was crazy when I moved. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I went to school with A-Tray Hoovers. Okay. I was over there and I did my thing over there as well. So I was everywhere. Then, some stuff happened. My brother got heavy into it. And there's a few things happened. And you know how that happened. Then the location had to change because I couldn't freely move around over there no more.
Young Pride, I'm assuming, same.
Same with Young Pride.
Okay. All right.
Young Pride more of an East Sider than I am because he was a kid when we moved over there. Okay. But I'm East Side. Fuck that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's where the love at for me. Yeah. And the foamies I got on the West, cool. I ain't got no issues with nobody. Okay. But so that's pretty much Chaos was Hoover. Grip was more of a Hoover affiliate. You know what I mean? LV for sure A7 Gangster. you know,
Affiliate.
huh?
Affiliate.
Lover G affiliated with the Pueblos. I'm affiliated with the A7s. Young Pride affiliated with Young Pride ran with Minnie. You know what I mean? With Minnie, but he's affiliated with the A7. You know, at that time, let's say, because we some grown motherfuckers now, you know.
Exactly.
So
no, yeah, for sure.
At that time.
It's at that time. Yeah. Okay, so I know you wanted to touch on, which I did as well. You said there's a divide between hood and hustle.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is if you hustling in the hood, you affiliated. It's almost, it comes with the territory. Like when you, a lot of people who hustling, now don't get me wrong, not everybody that hustle, but the way I was hustling, I was in the trenches.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I'm in a certain hood hustling and some stuff happen, I'm in the mix.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was definitely one of those gangster type hustlers. Me, I was more of a gangster type hustler. I wasn't like, I was in the streets and I ran around and did things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you got some hustlers just low key, like they lean toward the player type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they smooth. They ain't really with the rah-rah shit. So you're saying during your tenure in the
With
street,
me, I was one of them.
rah-rah.
Yeah, I was very quiet, very methodical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
but
how you last.
I did what I did, which we're not bragging about nothing that we did. You know, but things happened. You know what I mean? I definitely lean more toward the gangster and the hustler than the player and the hustler.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me ask you, was there ever something that happened in the streets or that you saw that made you say, you know what? Let me really try to take this music shit serious.
Yeah, it happened to me. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Is it something you can speak on or no?
I'll tell part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
The part, yeah.
It was one of them situations where I was, going to what's the word? Restack the hustle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You was going to, yes.
And I ended up in a situation where, everything in my pocket ended up gone. You feel me? Not everything, but
the lineup, the back door.
One of them situations, man. And I'm like, ain't this
damn? Yeah.
And damn, that got shot up in the midst of it.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So of course, after that, I'm like, man. And Hav was like about the jail thing. I had went to the county jail a few times. Yeah. And I'm, Havoc been to the pen. I ain't been to the pen.
Right.
I didn't get caught.
Right.
Through the worst of it, I didn't get caught.
Yeah.
I'm one of them ones that didn't get caught.
Let me ask you about that. That's a funny thing, right? Because you sound like myself, which we had a lot of people praying for us.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna take the credit and make it seem like I was just such a prolific criminal and that's smart.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's a thing in the culture, and I'm gonna say kind of on the West Coast, where if you didn't go to jail or if you didn't get caught,
you're not as gangster.
For some reason it invalidates whatever it is you had to go through and did. Why do you think that's a thing that jail is supposed to be some type of qualifier?
I think that's some bullshit.
Yeah. Because it seemed like you would celebrate the motherfuckers that got away.
Yeah, the slick ones.
You know what I mean? The slick ones.
You know what I mean? The ones that didn't go to jail. Like it's easy to go. It's not easy.
Right.
But if you're in jail now, you in a situation. All of your responsibilities is gone because you got to focus on surviving that. The ones on the street still got to take care of their families and hustle and get it day to day.
Yeah.
So to me, that's gangster. When you can make it and make it happen, and we still here.
I mean,
all the stuff we went through, we still here.
The free shit is a motherfucker. Because I mean, listen, jail. I mean, it's hard. Nobody's saying it ain't right, but the free shit ain't easy. Being free is not easy.
Man, it's
you
not.
know what I mean?
Everything costs.
You feel me? So you got to be out here. You got to take care of family. You got to get your money. You got to stay out the ways. Try to stay out of jail. Like the free shit just is hard.
Yeah, I mean that's all part of the fuckery though.
Yeah,
it's just how the homies go to jail for probably murder, and when they get out, you worship them.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a little retarded the way we look at
When you get
things.
older, man, I hate to be hypercritical, but it's like when we get older,
Yeah.
we think about this shit like, damn, that shit kind of dumb.
It is. And now
kinda
you
dumb.
know, definite.
Yeah, you got something on that, Cal?
It's just it's the way we've been programmed. You know what I mean? When we not good with failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Going to prison is pretty much a failure. You know what I mean? You fucked up.
Repackage
you
it
in a
as
situation.
something
So
else.
people,
Yeah.
it's being able to. It's separation. You know, everything in this on this planet is about separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to say you this and I'm this. And if you stayed out of prison and you took care of your family and you did what you had to do, well, you a sucker because nigga, you ain't put that time in the pen. You ain't no real G because you didn't go to prison. It's just it's a low self-esteem thing. It's just a structure of just how we are. It ain't. I don't even think it's really thought about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just.
When you unpack it, you know, as an adult, you know, a responsible adult, it doesn't make sense. It's
Not
like,
at all.
man, so you mean to tell me I'm praised because I fucked up my family? Your family do time with you. You know, I wasn't there for my kids. I left my old lady to fend for the kids and do whatever she had to do. My kid, you know what I mean?
Right.
And somehow or another, that's a badge. And I'm not knocking the guys that
No
did have to go
knocking.
sit down.
It's
You
just
know what
the
I'm saying?
truth.
It's unfortunate, right?
Truth is the
But,
truth.
yeah, it's like when you look at it, it's crazy, you know, when you think about it. But I want to touch on, so you formed the group, SCC, you trying to get out of hustling, right?
I wasn't even the SEC at the time. When I got out of hustling, I was doing my own thing.
Okay, as a solo rapper.
Yeah,
Okay.
SEC came once I met Havoc, and he sold
Which
me
Havoc?
the Mouthpiece.
Okay, Mouthpiece.
But before him, I was already making moves. That's why it's so crazy to me when I hear things like, okay, you can feel how you know, okay, my motivation and determination is more than the whole group. This is what Havoc said.
Okay.
How the hell do you say that?
Yeah. Why would he say
how
that?
do an individual...
Why do you think he feels that way?
I mean, his hustle game was impeccable at a point. You know, like, I'm not taking, but there's layers to it.
Okay.
And I won't get on here and divulge a lot of the backstory because I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
You feel me?
sure.
It's more to it.
Yeah.
You know, so let's go back to the starting of the SEC. But I'm saying I'm already making the little moves in the direction of being Prodigy.
Right.
You know, so me and Chaos moving. I'm learning how to do my craft. I'm getting better at it. You know, Chaos didn't have the equipment that Chris had, which is the one that co-produced South Central Madness with me. You know.
That would be Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson,
Okay.
Jamarama,
right?
You know, so, but he taking me to Africa Islam's, Ice-T's producer. He's taking me to Johnny Rivers' house. You know, I'm meeting people. You know what I mean? I'm spitting. People respecting it. You know what I mean? I just happened to run into Mouthpiece. This lucky day. You know, he's there.
Yeah.
I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But do you know, of course, nigga, you tell me your daddy is from the Shy Lights, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Feel like you got some inroads.
Right.
business.
Yeah, feel like you got some
I'm
inroads.
listening
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know? And he made the car move.
You give him that. Yeah.
Yeah, he made the car move for sure. You know what I mean? Now, as far as his investment, money-wise, okay, I'm going too far. Okay, so I get with Havoc, and he made the car move.
Yeah.
He met Ken Neal at K-Day. Ken Neal introduced us to Chris, and the music got better immediately.
Yeah.
Chris had the computer, one of them first computers.
And this is the first, would this be the first album? The
This
South
is
Central
when we
Madness?
started making music on the level of where I'm like, oh shit.
Okay.
You know, I was doing it with Chaos, and Chaos had the basics.
Yeah.
When I went to Chris, it was the sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the only thing Chris didn't have was that griminess, which was me. I brought the griminess.
Okay.
So we didn't have a style.
Okay.
It was just me, first of all. I'm still learning the ropes myself. The music wise, it wasn't. I go to Chris and it was so clean and pristine, and then I go listen to NWA and I'm like, no, this ain't it.
So you're speaking to co-producing.
I'm co-producing now. I'm at home. I'm listening to the Parliament and Roger and Zap and whatever the hell, and I'm going back to Chris like, Chris, I need this, bro. Take this right here and that and put that together and play this bass line over. Now I'm doing this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Chris started telling me, dude, you producing. You know, so this is my first time learning how to produce. So the music got better and the song started sounding good. So when Havoc say, possibly if we would have just stuck with the Havoc and the Prodeje, it probably would have did what he did. I don't know which songs would have, because some of the songs I took from Havoc and Prodeje, and I just told my cousin to get on there. And we used them for the SCC album.
Okay.
You know,
You're talking about the first one.
The first album, the You Gets Clown, that was just me on it. Wasn't nobody else on that record. That was all me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I Get My Roll On was all Havoc. Those was our solos on that album. Rhyme Son.
Okay.
Yeah, Mouthpiece couldn't rap, bro.
Right.
You know, it's just no disrespect to him. He wasn't made to be the kind of rapper that, you know, he do what he do, what he doing with his records right now or whatever.
But at the time,
Yeah, so we doing the music with Chris and it's starting to sound good and we going to try to get deals. And we had went to a couple of labels and I'm like, man, I'm feeling like it's finna go down. Like, you know, and I'm like, you know what, bruh? Now, mind you, through the years, me and my cousin Havoc the Rhyme Son, we was rapping together, just walking through the hood, freestyling or whatever we did. So I knew he was talented and he wanted to do it. I already was dealing with DJ Chaos. That's two. When I was on the east side, hustling, LV, you know, I was in my little spot doing whatever, and I hear somebody blowing.
Yeah.
I hear somebody singing Stevie Wonder's Part-Time Lover.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah. LV's a beast.
Yeah. So I look out the door, it's LV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blowing.
Yeah, that man
I'm
can
like,
sing.
Okay, that's another one. I'm going to deal with it. Bro, I rap and I'm going to come back and we finna, you know, I'm going to get you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so then LV. You know, so that's how LV came into it.
Yeah.
The other member was Lover G, which was my brother-in-law. He was like Mouthpiece. Gift the Gab.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, if I wrote him a rap, he could actually.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Lover G, I heard him on some records, right?
He was on Pops Was a Roller.
Okay, right.
He was on what other
County
one was
Blues.
he? County Blue.
Yeah, yep.
County Blue. And Havoc was right about that, by the way. He is the one that told us about the wet 40s and all that. He did.
Let me interject, though. Everybody that had something to do with the SEC had a musical talent. Other than Mouthpiece having a connection to his pops, no musical talent. What Mouthpiece did before the SEC, probably don't even remember this. Mouthpiece sold suits.
He sold what?
Suits at the Broadway on Crenshaw.
Didn't know nothing about that. Suits. No, he told him that. He told him that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where Mouthpiece come from. He had no street connect. He had it was none of that. You know what I mean? And before everybody ran with Mouthpiece, I ran with Mouthpiece. Fourth grade. I was in the fourth grade. He was a grown man. I was hustling. We was hustling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fourth grade.
Yeah. So you had more experience with Mouthpiece
before I didn't even know him.
I got more experience with Mouthpiece than everybody.
So how did you meet him? He meet him before you?
Because he met my mama. He tell that story. He met my mama on the front porch because he wanted to talk to my sister.
Oh, he did
That's
tell that
you.
story. I thought he was talking about you though.
Okay.
We got four brothers.
Yeah, we got four. So when he used to meet my mama, I used to sit out there with my mama because I'm the youngest. I'm the baby of the family.
Yeah.
So when everybody going, I'm sitting with moms. This is how I met Hav. I started linking up with Havoc with him going to work. So I will sell weed in the store while he at work and sell suits.
Okay.
So since I was a kid, I was running with Havoc. Even to the point when he got the connects at the radio stations, K-Day and all that shit. We used to sit outside K-Day. I was a kid. Ditching school. We used to sit outside K-Day in his car just waiting for anybody. It wasn't no real connect. It was who, you know what I'm saying? It was just like what I could stumble up on.
Okay.
So you know what it sounds like to me, just even hearing this in totality, because I wasn't here for the first interview. And I'm saying this not only as an entrepreneur as well and as a founder, but also a visionary, which I feel is what you were. It sounds like y'all, and y'all were young, so we get it. But to be able to understand and respect everybody's position to where it's like, hey, you're the founder, you got charisma, you can bring people together, you got an eye for talent. I got money, I got some connections, I'll do this. This person over here, it just sounds like it wasn't maybe a respect or maybe just to notice what everybody was bringing to the table as a collective versus, oh, well, I'm doing this, what you doing?
I think that's what the problem kind of speared.
Yeah.
It turned into that.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, so what I was trying to do is just go back and say, okay, every other member, I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Grip from the streets to hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I knew he was a DJ. Mm-hmm. So when Chaos came with Grip, he was like, man, I want Grip to be a member. I'm like, Grip, huh? Mm-hmm. And I had the dealings with Grip. Me and Grip had beef for a minute, you know? Yeah. So, it was cool. I'm like, so basically everybody was my homies.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Havoc was I had just met Havoc. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But Havoc was cool and he was making some moves. So I'm like, okay, I trust this guy. He's making it happen. Mm-hmm. I went to him. I'm like, man, I'm going to start a group. I want to start a group. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, things are starting to look like they about to go down. What he going to tell me? Mm-hmm. No pride.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to do that because then everything's going to stop. Mm-hmm. Nothing's going to happen. Right. You feel me? So he was like, cool, let's do it. Mm-hmm. We started the SCC and things happen. Yeah, on the sweatsuits and all of that. You know, these is like minor details here. Yeah. You know, my rhyme son was mad because his sweatsuit didn't have a star. Yeah. But this is how petty the shit would be with the SCC, you know. So as we starts the SCC, Lover G came up with the name. Of course, he told y'all the whole story with the mafia style, all of that. So we don't gotta retrace that. Right. Lover G came up with the name South Central Cartel. We move forward. Now, here we are. We doing the SCC music now, right? I'm in the studio every day with Chris trying to figure out what our sound is. You know what I mean? Like, what was the gangster? What was the image? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm already dressing like this. Mm-hmm. Ain't like I'm changing nothing. Right. I'm being who I'm already like this. Right. And then everybody else was like that. You know? Mm-hmm. Now, do that mean I came up with the image? I came up with the style of sound, the music, what the vibe was, definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, what did Havoc do? Havoc was paying for stuff. Now, if you come into the situation and you don't have no other talent, but you know how to connect some dots, right? Mm-hmm. Then you're going to kind of fall into your position. Yeah. That's what you good at. Right. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was that. Okay, he good at what he's doing. To a point. Mm-hmm. Havoc can talk his way into some shit. Mm-hmm. But no disrespect, Hav. You can talk your way out of some shit. You can talk your way into it. Yeah. But you gotta know when to shut the fuck up. Right. Excuse my French. You gotta know when to shut up. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And that was one of the things I used to try to tell him. Yeah. You know? So, okay, you spent some money, you bought some sweatsuits and you paid for some photo shoots and you was paying Chris for the sessions. Now I think where Havoc, when he say he spent 40 to 60 or 60 to 80, whatever his number was, Havoc spent more money when it came to me and Havoc. Mm-hmm. See, he spent more money when it came to Prodeje because we got the apartment. Mm-hmm. And at that time, he was still kind of doing his thing. And I'm like, I'm learning the music. Mm-hmm. So now I'm learning how to be an artist.
Flag on the plate. On the plate. That ain't even supposed to be brought up. That's a hustle play. That it's like, so it's what you doing is equal to what he doing.
Well, that's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm getting to. Mm-hmm. That was the arrangement.
Yeah.
Right. So now you come back 30 years later and say, and see, so that's what it was, man. Havoc did played his position. Now, along the way, certain players participated in what Havoc did. Certain people contributed to what he was paying for. It wasn't always just Havoc spending Havoc's money.
Right.
So when I'm watching an interview, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing, oh, my sister was putting a lot of her money into that. I'm not hearing at certain points in times, this person put some money into that. Or that person. All I'm hearing Havoc talk about is what we did wrong to him and what he did to where we supposed to be respecting him so much. Respect ain't never given, it's earned.
Right.
So if I respect you today and you start doing things and it changed the way I feel about you, bruh, you did that.
Yeah.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and I am the co-founder of the OG Network. And if you're enjoying this episode and you want to watch the full episode, then what I need you to do is go download the OG Network. Available on Roku, Google Play, Fire TV, and Apple Mobile. And again, if you liking this and you want to watch the full episode, because we only giving you a little bit over here, go watch the full episode on OG Network. Go download the app now. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Salute.